All right, well, welcome back to part 2 of how to restore old damaged concrete using the grind, stain, and seal process. I just wanted to take a quick minute and kind of show the equipment we're going to be using to get this job done. So first off, I just got my Milwaukee bit box here. This holds all my diamond tool segments for my machine, so we get a nice, good mechanical profile. This is my HTC Duratic T5. Very versatile machine. It's a little bit of a smaller one, but it does pack a lot of punch. It's got onboard weight. You drop on the head to get a little bit more head pressure, get a more efficient grind. I do have an onboard control panel here. Now this is pretty cool. My old machine didn't have this. So what I can do is I can dial in my RPMs with this machine, and I have a meter on here, and it kind of gives me, where's a good efficient spot to be grinding with whatever you're doing, whether you're making whether you're doing removal or just basic surface prep. If you're hard, soft concrete, what bits you're using, you can really fine tune and kind of dial in with your RPMs and make sure you're getting the right profile for your concrete. So this machine is awesome. I love it. It's actually pretty fast. So I'm happy I have the upgrade. Now we have our power unit. This actually, runs the machine. It can run the machine and the vacuum. So the Walt 1400, the thing puts out a lot of power. It works really nice, and it's not obnoxiously loud. It's loud, but it's not obnoxious. And a little bit already, we talked about the Husqvarna S26 HEPA ready. This thing can keep up with the amount of dust that the T5 creates. They do have bigger versions of these guys, but for this is what I'm going to be running. We already talked about the copper line hose, and we also have our extension cord there. So something else really cool, my old machine was a Husqvarna PG450. I'm probably going to do another little comparison video on the T5 and the 450, so on and so forth. But Husqvarna and HTC did merge, so I have a bigger bit selection in the Husqvarna brand at this time, which is really cool. We have conversion plates. So these are conversion plates. These go on the bottom of my HTC machine, so I can utilize both my machines and run like one bit system through everything, which makes it a lot simpler for me. But that's pretty much it. So process today, I'm probably just going to be doing a bunch of time-lapse videos, kind of showing you how I do this. So first diamond segments we're going to be running are going to be, they're going to be, I think they're 1820s. Then we're going to go to 3040s, and then we're going to jump to a 6080 bit. And that's kind of going to be our process to get this floor done. So one thing with grind and seals is there's many ways to do them. There's many ways to cut the floor. The way I just recommended seems to work good for me and the equipment that I have. Again, you're going to have to kind of figure out what works best for your machine, the hardness of the concrete. If you're doing any removal and things like that, what bits to use. But in this particular situation, I'm gonna be going, 20s, 30, 40s. When I get to the 30, 40s, I'm actually gonna be jumping to a dual seg. So, all right, let me get this one right. First cut, single seg in a 20 grit diamond segment. Then I jump to a dual seg. So it's got two deals on it. I'll just kind of show you right here. Single seg, dual seg. And the whole idea of this is you got two segments, more diamonds on the floor. It creates a much smoother grind to give you, that profile of a nice finished concrete look. So we'll be running through those. First thing we're gonna do is start out grinding the perimeter all the way around. And then we're gonna double back and forth, until we complete one entire pass. After that's done, I can reassess the slab, do any more necessary patching that I need to at that time. We're gonna do our bit exchange to our 30-40s, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're actually gonna we call it cross hatching. So if you run just one direction, you can get almost like a snail trail from your machine. You wanna make sure you're overlapping, like 4 to 6 inches into at least your previous patch. What I do is I line it up right here, and that's kind of my cut line to make sure I'm overlapping correctly. But back to the cross hatching, our first pass is going to go, let's say, left to right, and then our second pass is going to go, front to back. And what that's going to do is create a real nice even grind for us. That's pretty much the process today. So stay tuned. Hope you like what you see. Got my edge grinders here. This is a 7-inch Metabo. Got a 12 tooth bit on it. It's probably a little bit aggressive for a grind and seal floor, but since I got a lot of mastic around the edges, I'm not trying to spend all day being there. So I'm gonna use this guy and just burn that off. You do have another option. You can run the 4-inch. This is Metabo also. Same style, bit on it for the tighter areas and in the corners. These guys I primarily use just for edging, so I can just, these shrouds got miles on them. I wrap them with a little bit of tape and just kick this guy in the back. That way it's not flopping around. This place isn't the cleanest as far as the mastic goes, so safety first. Gonna wear the respirator, take some clear glasses. You get a lot of kickback in your face when you're doing the edging, so yeah, protect yourself first. That's pretty much it. Now, if you want to take your edging a little bit further, you can go to like a 22 tooth bit. I think it's a 22. More teeth on it, gives you a much finer grind. But like I said, I'm just trying to get the mastic off the floor at this point. I always got my machine to come back. On my next 2 bit passes, I'm gonna go real slow around the perimeter and make sure that I get any tooling marks out that I might have made with these. I've been doing this for about 15 years, so I got the hang of it. If you're a beginner, take your time. Don't put a lot of pressure on it and try not to dig that blade into the concrete because you will see that in your finish and it can be hard to remove. Quick pro tip before I get to edging here. When I was vacuuming a minute ago, it made me think of something I figured I might as well let you guys know. If you notice in the time-lapse video, when I'm vacuuming, I always try and work in like a square pattern. That way I can always keep track of where I am as I'm watching the dust get vacuumed off the floor. So I like to do mine. The way I do it is I get a nice suction. If you don't have one of these tips, you're just using like a plastic tip. You're gonna wanna go in longer strokes and go nice and slow and make sure you hear the tip of that thing just screaming because you have really good suction. You're gonna have to find your angle on it and you stick with that angle and go and make sure you get a nice good vacuum to get the dust out of the floor. If you're one of these guys, that does you no good at all. Don't be that guy. Take your time. You're just gonna be breaking a sweat, hurting your back, going back and forth like a madman. It's much simpler to take your time, make sure you have the right angle on the vacuum nozzle and go about 10 feet back and forth and really watch your pattern when you're doing that. So pro tip, I don't know how you do it. I've seen that many times and it makes me laugh, so don't be that guy. right, so that concludes today's video on surface prep, the first cut anyway, on restoring old concrete for a grind and seal process. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I plan on doing a lot more of these, just kind of walk you through the way I do everything, things I've learned over the years, over the past 15 years or so. I actually started out doing decorative concrete when I was about, I think I was like 15 or 16. You know, I had to go get that worker's permit and I went straight to work. So I'm turning 34 in a month, you know, 16 or 17 years, whatever that may be. So I really wish that I had some YouTube videos to refer myself to, even when, you know, I started surface it decorative concrete. You know, there's a lot of things I still didn't know, as far as, you know, bit selections, you know, what machines to run, what was, you know, I was always constantly thinking like, hey, what should I buy? What's my next tool? So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna try and do a lot more of these for you. Hopefully I can answer some of those questions for you on your journey, your decorative concrete business. Have a little bit easier time than I did. You know, give back to everybody a little bit. That's the whole goal here. And yeah, if you like it, thank you. Pass it on, and we'll see you tomorrow.